Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house, and today I'm in the house with the Kershaw Fraxion here with me for a review. We're gonna analyze the look, the sound, the feel of this guy. But hey, don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this kind of content right here. You guys asked for cheaper knives. There you have it. Kershaw Fraxion. Overall length is going to be 6.75 inches with a 2.9, I would say less than 3 inches long, definitely. Cutting edge with a handle of 4 inches, roughly. It's an interesting knife. Not too big, not too small. It's kind of like on the small size, to be honest, because, like, for example, this is the Ontario Rat number 2, and boom, Ontario Rat number 1 right into the scene, stealing the size comparison, because it's kind of like dwarfing the Fraxion, and this is more like more comfortable right next to the mini bag out from Benchmade, or maybe from next to the bag out, also from Benchmade, of course. And you can see that's a little bit bigger than the mini, and of course smaller than the bag out. And this is the Spyderco Para 3, and this is of course the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, like showing you that this guy is smaller than both. Look at that. Maybe you're familiar with the small Sebenza 21 by Chris Reeve Knives, and here you have it pretty much at the same size of the Fraxion. Just for comparison's sake, this is a large Sebenza 21. And it's showing you, for example, let me show you just another big boy here, another ballpark. You can buy 20 of these, like with this, probably more. Custom Knife Factory Snafu 2.0. And this is the time where usually I would showing you the 520. But yeah, we have a 520 not from Custom Knife Factory, but directly from the man, Philippe Georget himself. What else can I show you? Just another couple nice one. This is the Vero Synapse, and this is the Hinderer Knives XM18, 3.5 inch long. And what do I have? Oh, I have another couple of cheap blades. That's the Kubi Carve, which is a fantastic knife. I have another one. This is the Ruiki P801, which is again a fantastic budget option for sure. And I have more, but I'm gonna show you in the next one. So here what we have is the Kershaw Fraxion. It's designed by Anso Design, right over here from Denmark. It's a budget knife. It's a liner lock with G10 scales and overlaid carbon fiber with a little bit of chamfering going on the outside of the scales. Nothing going on the inside. There is only one liner, which is stainless steel, which is on the lock side right over here. Nothing going on the show side. So you have that, and also you have this cheap carbon fiber, because this is a cheap carbon fiber, of course, that has been overlaid and glued, I think, onto this G10 slab. So, for example, like a good quality carbon fiber would look something like that. For example, that's Chris Reeve, or like, for example, even this. I hope you can see the difference in finish, or like even like, yeah, we're going up in price like considerably. This is Lightning Strike carbon fiber, but you know what I mean. It's a different thing. It feels different. It is different. So, I mean, they chipped out, but it's a cheap knife, so it's fine. Let's focus on the positive here. You've got a simple construction. You've got two standoffs going on over here. There's no lanyard hole option. You're gonna be, yeah, just don't do any lanyard hole. And if you look at the overall look when this guy is closed, look at that. It's kind of sleek, has a nice design when closed. I mean, look at this. It's pretty clean, with even if the lines are like straight and there's edges and all that. But it's a balanced and nicely looking knife. I have to say that. I like the lines. You've got, I was saying, these two standoffs, no backspacer, no lanyard hole option. You've got tip-up carry only pocket clip, which is gonna be sticking out like that. It's reversible, it's tip-up carry only. You cannot mount it on the other side. And it has a strong clip retention and not so much clip ramp for the entrance, and it's honestly like too long. I mean, it's the proportion of the pocket clip, it's not the best in my opinion. You have the tip that is safely recessed. It's a little bit off center. But it's safe. You cannot access. You cannot touch it. You're not gonna be puncture yourself with it. So it's gonna be fine. The screws are protruding a little bit, like this pivot here. This is completely flush. These two are also, yeah, I would say flush. There's some chamfer, but pretty straightforward disassembly procedure. T6 Torx bit screws for the handle, T8 for the pivot, and you're done. You're gonna meet a couple of bearings on the under the hood, but you're gonna be pretty much good to go to maintain this guy with no issues whatsoever. You've got of course, a liner here. There's a cutout area to access, for you to be able to access the lock bar and disengage it. And there's some jimping going on as well. There's some jimping going on in the flipper tab, which is a good thing. You've got a less than 3-inch long blade. This is HCR13 MOV. It's patented. It's designed by ANSA. You've got the Kershaw logo here. A lot of billboarding going on the back like that. Jimping, which is actually surprisingly effective. There's some nice traction to it, so it's good. And then from here you got this wedge going on and reaching basically the tip of the blade. And now I cannot unnotice the not symmetrical grind. Like, for example, in this case, the wedge ends here, whereas on the other side ends like way, like you see, ends like, let's say here, and ends much earlier on the other side. So there's no grind symmetry. But I feel that this is a nice hollow grind. It's nicely done, so it's nice and slicey, sorry. Let's just quickly check the stock thickness, and it's going to be 0.1065. And let's see here, because like if I measure here, it's going to be 0.023. But if I measure here at the heel of the blade, 0.05. I mean, yeah, it just gets pretty thick behind the edge over here, as you can see, even if the plunge grind is recessed back. So just keep that in mind. Also, like, what is interesting about this is this. It's a nice and clicky opening sound. When you close it, it's just nothing special. But when you open it, I like it. It's a kind of like elegant but unobtrusive and clacky sound. I like it. It's loud for being like such a small knife. And such a light blade. I like it. Very, very good opening sound. You've got to be happy also about the weight on this guy, because this is really, really light weight. It's not gonna bear like any, look at that. 1.97 ounces in your pocket, super summer. If you have like a bathing suit, this is gonna be like less than 2 ounces. Toss it in your pocket and you're gonna be good to go. You have a little bit of hot spot here because it's kind of like sharp, and if you squeeze it, this area here is gonna kind of like dig into your finger. Nothing too crazy, but I just thought to mention to you because probably that's the only hot spot. Not so much this one, but yeah, this is the most the sharpest area, let's say. You have relatively easy to disengage lock bar. There's some nice jimping, which is effective, and it's gonna work. It's not like the best designed area, because I still believe that this is how you design like a lock bar release like that. But we are in a different ballpark, so that's one gripe that I've got. You're not gonna be like doing any reverse grip because there's a lack of this much of a handle, but that's just me because I have big hands. But overall, the knife, it feels actually solid, like if you squeeze it on this side, because this standoff is here, so that's conferring a nice rigidity to the overall structure. But if you're doing the same thing on this side, you can clearly see the scales, the G10 scales flexing, and that's an indication of a structure not being that rigid. But it's a small knife, there's just one liner on one side, so it is still fine. There's no rattling when shaken. It feels like pretty well put together. I mean, there's not much going on here to say about the flushness or evenness or misalignments or anything, but it's all right. I don't see any blade play. Actually feels really, really strong and sturdy. There's no lock stick. There's zero finger soreness. Actually, it's a very, very snappy action, and that's one plus on this one. I mean, this guy's running on bearings for the pivot system, and the deployment speed is really, really pleasant, really fast and smooth and good. And you can do like a light switch like that. It's gonna fire like a boss with the fantastic and whippy, snappy, clicky, clacky sound. Really, really good. You disengage the lock bar, look at that. Boom, goes down. You put it in the vertical position, nothing. You have to wiggle it to get the blade closed, but it's not a big deal because you are gonna be rewarded with this nice action when you deploy it and the nice sound when you deploy it. So really, really good. There's no detent ball ramp over here, so you're gonna have a little bit of a hard step going on. You have basically non-existent detent sucking in effect, but the detent is nicely dialed in because you're gonna have a very interesting deployment action, so that is pretty good to say. So I really enjoyed the look, the weight, the sound and the action of this guy. Maybe a little bit would have improved a little bit the steel, for example, and the lock bar area over here, but for the price, guys, we cannot complain on this one. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.